Welcome my friends, this over here is an Intel i9 11900K test bench. So it's an 8-core CPU, like the best gaming CPU in the world, but the big question is, how well does it do in Premiere Pro live playback performance in loads of different codecs? Let's find out. If you want to check out the exact test setup and what parts I'm using, I'm gonna leave all the links below. So we have lots of different mirrorless camera footage over here. Let's start with 8-bit 420 60 frames per second. So this is 4K. We're going to be playing it back. Looks like it's playing it back very, very easily. 60 frames per second. As you can see, nothing's being dropped over here. So this is like the usual footage you could expect from any mirrorless camera. 4K, 8-bit, 420, 60 frames per second. That's that. Let's try a timeline performance. Very, very, very good. Like buttery smooth. As you can see, it used some of Intel's GPU over there. So it was hardware accelerated codec. That's why it's so super smooth. Next of all, let's move on to 10-bit. So our color bit depth is actually a little bit stronger now. We're playing back full resolution. This is 4K 10-bit 420, 24 frames per second. Seems like it's got no problem playing that back either. Like moving on the timeline. Very, 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 very good. No problem there. Now this is a 10-bit 420 4K but H.265 codec. So a little bit more like efficient codec. Let's see how it plays it back here. And this is also, if I remember correctly, yes, 50 frames per second H.265. Full resolution, playing it back, no problem. As you can see, it's the iGPU inside the processor that's playing it back, not actually the NVIDIA GeForce, because I'm running also a 3070 over here, but the Intel GPU is actually playing it back. Okay, let's do a little scrubbing. Looks super smooth, very, very nice, no problem. Now this is a little bit different. This is 422, which is not hardware accelerated, and it is software accelerated, which means that, as you can see, it takes a little bit of time to play back. The CPU now needs to play it back, not the GPU. As you can see, GPUs, none of them are doing anything, but the CPU is playing it back, as you can see over here. So the timeline performance, very, very good. I'm liking it a lot. Looks very, very smooth to me, actually. Maybe this is a little bit more choppy. This is SI. On the right clip, this is SI, which means that it's a little bit easier to edit because it's less compressed. But this one over here is quite a bit compressed, and that's why it's not so good over here. Let's have a look. Yep, it's all on the CPU. Let's see how much power it does. Premiere pull, 182 watts and 77 degrees on the CPU. So this is 422 60 frames per second. Let's see if it can play it back. Yep. Looks like we're playing it back, no problem. Timeline performance is a little bit have to wait, as you can see. So any of the footage you might get from your mirrorless cameras, especially A7S III footage, because that's what I have been using over here, you're gonna be fine. Like as good as it's gonna get, it's gonna be very, very good. I was especially impressed actually on all the hardware accelerated codecs because they look very, very smooth to me. Now this is Canon C200 Raw. As you can see, we are proper struggling now. Our CPU is 100% utilized. It's trying to play it back. 181 watts from the CPU socket's been pulled, and it didn't do a very good job playing it back over here. Let's move this to half the resolution. Let's try then. Whoa, this is a first. Okay. Oh yeah, this is big issues over here. As you can see, even my mouse is like, come on. The whole thing's gone berserk. So Canon C200 footage is very hard for this to edit. Even though like the scrubbing performance, let's see, full resolution, is quite all right. Try to render proxies when doing this. This is Red 4K Raw now. Let's press play. Wow, okay. I did not expect that. So it was struggling to play that back a little bit actually. As you can see, we dropped 42 frames. Let's see the other one. Let's see if it does it again. Let's go in the beginning. Start playing again. Yep, again. It's losing frames. That is very, very interesting to me because like the timeline performance is not great actually. That is very interesting. The 5600X, have a look at that timeline performance of the Ryzen 5. That was much better playing this back on this. This is struggling quite a bit. Let's see Red 5K. Yeah. Interesting. For this CPU, this is really, really hard to play this back. It can't figure out even 5K. So this is a 6K Red Raw. I doubt it's gonna do that, but let's press play. No, can't do Red 6K Raw. Absolutely mental. Look, CPU is 100% maxed out and it just can't do it. Okay, just a quick update. I updated my Premiere Pro and it looks like the timeline performance is a little bit better. So we're gonna go back to C200 4K footage. Let's have a look at this one. We're still getting some random lots of errors, but the playback is pretty much the same. So that C200 didn't change anything. So we have red. Let's press play. Red 4K, full resolution. Looks like that's doing all right. It's playing it back purely like on the CPU, as you can see over here. GPU is doing a little bit, but it's not video decoding. So it's on a CPU. As you can see, timeline performance super smooth. Red 5K looks very smooth. Timeline performance. We'll press play, full resolution. Okay, 5K starts to struggle a little bit. Let's have a look. Yep, CPU goes to 100% over here. Pulls 183 watts. It's struggling a little bit. Like 4K Red Raw, 5K is already can't do this one. Let's see, is it this Red 6K? Okay, similar thing. Can't play it back. As you can see, CPU is the bottleneck of this one over here. Just the CPU doesn't have enough cores, enough threads to play these things back because it needs a lot. Premiere loves like a lot of this like threads. B-Raw 6K looks like that's very, very smooth. 2 B-Raws, no problem. 3 6 B-Raws on top of each other. Playback is fine. Pressing play, 0 frames dropped. Like B-Raw 6K is very easy codec to play back. As you can see, looks like it's got no problem with that. Well, let's see Red 8K now. Press play. Yeah, I don't think we can do that. It's just not able to hack it. Just can't play it back because the CPU is so bad. So don't even try Red 8K. But what we can do is, this is Canon R5 8K, so Canon Raw 8K video. And this is like half the resolution, and timeline performance is not too bad. We're getting lots of errors over there, but don't mind them. Let's press play, see if it can do it in half the resolution. Okay, and we crashed Premiere Pro. Now press play. Can we do something? Come on, come on, come on. Okay, looks like Canon R5 8K is not ideal. Can't quite play that back. This is B-Raw 12K sequence. Let's have a look at the timeline performance. Half resolution, not bad. Let's see what can it do on full resolution. Yeah, it's a bit of a slideshow. Let's just say you wouldn't edit this on full resolution anyway. Half the resolution is still a bit of a slideshow. And quarter, okay, quarter is smooth. So if you want to edit 12K B-Raw, you could do that with this, pressing play. Yeah, it could do that. Let's do half the resolution. I can still, yeah, nah, can't quite do it. Can't quite hack it. Yeah. So guys, this is Intel 11900K on Premiere Pro. And as you can see, basically the conclusion for this is if you're doing 4K editing, this system is going to be fine for you. 5K and up, like, no, this CPU is not powerful enough to do that. So if you want to do 5K and up, maybe look for Ryzen 9s. Check out my Ryzen 9 5900X plus 3070 review or play my performance, and then you'll see you can do that over there. Thanks guys for watching. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.